The law was the law. It had to be obeyed. There were no two ways about it. The law laid it down that the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even if he committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Death by stoning. Now, the scribes and Pharisees were out to get some charge on Jesus. They had a woman. She had been caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now, what they figured was that they had Jesus coming and going, so to speak. If Jesus said that she should be stoned, he would lose his reputation for love and mercy, and never again would he be called the friend of sinners. And that, of course, would have taken care of Jesus very nicely. He would have lost all of his followers. Not only that, but if Jesus recommended death, he would be in trouble with the Roman law. The Jews had no power to carry out the death sentence on anyone. And if Jesus passed the death sentence, he would become a criminal in the eyes of the Roman government. Now, on the other hand, if Jesus recommended pardon, they would accuse him of teaching men to break the law of Moses. They could say that he was even encouraging men to commit adultery. All the scribes and Pharisees were sure they had Jesus now. There was no way he could get out of this trap. You can almost see them standing there gloating and rubbing their hands together in self-satisfaction. Ah, yes, they had Jesus for sure this time. Well, Master, they cried in derision, what is your sentence? But Jesus wouldn't even look at them. He stooped down and began writing in the sand. The Armenian translation of the New Testament tells us what Jesus wrote. He himself, bowing his head, was writing with his finger on the earth to declare their sins, and they were seeing their several sins on the stones. The scribes and Pharisees kept pushing for an answer. And they got it. All right, said Jesus. Stone her. But let the man that is without sin be the first to cast a stone. Yes, you may stone her, but only if you never wanted to do the same thing yourselves. There was silence. And then slowly the accusers began to drift away. Jesus and the woman were left alone. A great misery, standing face to face with a great pity. And Jesus said to the woman, has no one condemned you? No one, sir, she said. And then Jesus said, I am not for the moment going to condemn you either. Go and make a new start and don't sin anymore. This was a radical break in the law, as people had known it and had experienced it from the time it was given to the time of Jesus. But I'd like to have you listen carefully. We're going to come back to Jesus and the woman in a moment, but listen carefully to a voice that told that this was going to happen. A voice speaking in the background many, many years ago, telling about this moment when Jesus would stand before this woman. A moment that would begin with Jesus and would continue down through the ages to us. Thus says the Lord, who makes a way in the sea and a path in the mighty waters. Do not remember the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive and know it? And will you not give heed to it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Then shall your light break forth as the morning, and your healing, your restoration, and the power of a new life shall spring forth speedily. Your righteousness, your rightness, and your justice, and your right relationship with God shall go before you, conducting you to peace and prosperity. And the glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. The words, then shall your light break forth as the morning, and your healing, your restoration, and the power of a new life shall spring forth speedily. The message of God in Isaiah is loud and clear. God is doing a new thing. Whole worlds of possibility are opening up to us. There is going to be victory over everything that would destroy us, everything that would drag us down, everything that would leave our lives in misery. Yes, God is doing a new thing, and there's going to be victory in Jesus. Now look again as Jesus stands before the woman. We need to be careful that we understand exactly what happened. You see, Jesus did not forgive lightly and easily as if sin really didn't matter. He took sin very seriously. So we can paraphrase what he was saying to her in words like these. Jesus said, I'm not going to condemn you just now. Go and sin no more. I'm not going to pass a final judgment and a condemnation now. Go out and prove that you can do better. You have sinned. Go out and sin no more, and I will help you all the time. At the end of the day, we will still see how you have lived. I know you've made a mess of things, but life is not finished yet. I'm giving you another chance, the chance to redeem yourself. I will be with you, giving you the power both to will and to do. Someone has written the lines, how I wish that there was a wonderful place called the land of beginning again, where all our mistakes and all our heartaches and all our poor selfish grief could be dropped like a shabby old coat at the door and never put on again. Well, I'm here to tell you that there is a place, a wonderful place called the land of beginning again. And that land is here and now. God is doing a new thing. Whatever the problems, whatever the mistakes, whatever the mess we've made of things, God is doing a new thing. There is victory in Jesus. And Jesus is the power to overcome. In Jesus is the power for a new life. In Jesus we can put off the past that threatens to undo us. In Jesus is victory. This new thing God is doing, this victory in Jesus, it extends far beyond just giving us a second chance. Victory in Jesus extends to all of life. Once we enter into that victory, the doors of possibility open wide. Listen to the psalmist. Trust in the Lord. Lean on, rely on, and be confident in the Lord, and do good. So shall you dwell in the land and feed surely on his faithfulness, and truly you shall be fed. Does that speak of want? Does that speak of being overcome by inflation and an economy that robs us of prosperity? No, it speaks of prosperity, of God giving and prospering those who have come to trust in him and to do good. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way unto the Lord. Roll and repose each care of your road on him. The meaning of that word has been described as though you were carrying a heavy sack on your shoulder and you roll it off onto him. Trust also in him. Lean on, rely on, be confident in the Lord, and he will bring it to pass. And he will make your uprightness and right standing with God go forth as the light, and your justice and right as the shining sun of the noonday. Be still and rest in the Lord. Wait for him, and patiently stay yourself upon him. Fret not because of the man who brings wicked. Fret not yourself because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not yourself. It tends only to evil doing, for evildoers shall be cut off. But those who wait and hope and look for the Lord shall inherit the earth. Psalm 37, verses 3 to 9. Listen to Isaiah. He that putteth his trust in me shall possess the land and shall inherit my holy mountain. These promises are not only for straightening out a messed up life. They are promises of prosperity when all around us is crumbling. In Jesus, there is victory. There is victory over circumstances, victory over high interest rates, victory over inflation, victory over the flood of evil that is overtaking North America, victory in the midst of the shaking that God is bringing about. And let me share with you just a few of the things that are happening in terms of the shaking. One, considering the stress that has been put on integrity and truth in politics, the nation was electrified one morning last month to find that an FBI operation dubbed Abscam had embroiled a number of high-ranking officials in a bribery situation. Named were a U.S. Senator, 7 members of the House of Representatives, and at least 24 state and local officials. In England, it was learned that the government knowingly let a former Soviet spy live for years at the upper level of London society, serving as Queen Elizabeth's art curator until his resignation in 1978. 3. On the one hand, the FBI is trying to stop the flow of pornography on the street with the arrest of 45 alleged pornography kingpins. While on the other hand, the entertainment industry is busy bringing it to the movie theaters, into our home television screens. One example is the movie Cruising, that shows brutality and ugly behavior among homosexuals while saying it is all okay. And even Dear Abby is on the side of the homosexuals, saying, God made the gays as well as the straights. What does this all mean? It means the shaking has started that God had promised would come, when everything that could be shaken would be shaken. It has unleashed a flood of evil and filth that has seduced the minds and morals of many who formerly held high standards. It means that we're in the end time. Satan is angry. He is doing all that he can to kill and to destroy. He has intensified his evil. What does all this mean? What does it really mean? What does it mean that we've had articles in the paper with pictures showing the computers already set up for a worldwide monetary system, with experts that predicted that in November last year, the United States would have succumbed to bankruptcy and had to be a part of that European banking system. Articles were in the paper. It's not make-believe. It's already been set up. The machinery just waiting until our economy crumbles. What does it mean? It means that we are in the midst of the shaking. in the midst of the flood of evil, in the midst of an economy that is running out of control. It means that in the midst of all of this, there is victory in Jesus. And this is the message I want you to get. There is victory over your messed up life. There is victory over circumstances. There is victory over high interest rates, victory over inflation, victory over the flood of evil. Paul writes, I am convinced and sure of this very thing, that he who began a good work in you will continue until the day of Jesus Christ, right up to the time of his return, developing that good work and perfecting and bringing it to full completion in you. For it is God who is all the while effectually at work in you, energizing and creating in you the power and desire both to will and to work for his good pleasure and satisfaction and delight. There is victory in Jesus. We do not have to be the victims of all that is going on, because there is victory in Jesus. God is doing a new thing. And we saw that new thing in this woman taken in adultery, where no longer was the stone applied to her head, but forgiveness and redemption and new life was applied to her heart. All that we have to do to claim that victory in Jesus is to claim it. And we claim it by doing what the psalmist tells us to do. Trust in the Lord. Do good. Delight yourself in the Lord. Commit your way unto the Lord.